Hello and welcome back. In the last video, we learned how to build multi-step workflows by chaining actions together. Now, we take that one step further because real workflows don't just run once, they build on past work. In this video, we will understand how Co-work uses memory and context across tasks and how you can use that to make your workflows smarter and more efficient. Let's start with the big idea. Co-work does not treat every task as isolated. It can remember previous work, use that memory, and apply it to new tasks. So, instead of starting from scratch every time, you are building on what has already been done. That's why memory is so powerful. It connects your past workflows, your current tasks, and your future workflows into one continuous system. Now, CoWork works with two types of memory. First is session memory. This is short term. It remembers what's happening within your current workflow, like recent steps and outputs. Second is persistent memory. This is long term. It stores context across sessions so you don't have to repeat instructions every time you come back. So think of it like this. Session memory helps you in the moment and persistent memory helps you over time. Now, let's quickly understand what is happening behind the scenes when we talk about persistent memory. CoWork does not just remember things magically. It actually uses a file-based memory system. There is a file called claude.md, which acts like a quick summary of important project context. There is a larger memory store where more detailed information is saved. As CoWork works, it automatically learns. It captures things like patterns, fixes, and preferences, and updates this memory over time. Now, instead of loading everything every time, it uses something called MCP-based retrieval. This means it only pulls the relevant memory when needed, which keeps things efficient. And to avoid clutter, it also cleans up memory in the background, removing outdated or duplicate information and keeping only what's important. So, overall, the system works like a loop: load context, execute tasks, and update memory. And that's what allows CoWork to improve over time and without you repeating everything again and again. But of the most useful things you can do is reuse previous outputs. Instead of starting from scratch, you can simply say something like, use the report generated yesterday as a template. CoWork will pick that up and build on it. This makes your workflows faster, more consistent, and much easier to scale. Now, let's talk about how you can actually use persistent memory. You can store things like project level context, reusable task templates, and even your preferences. So, over time, your workflow becomes more standardized. You don't need to repeat the same instructions again and again. CoWork already understands how you like things done. Apart from memory, you can also explicitly provide context. You can paste data directly, upload files, or even link entire folders. The key idea is simple. The better the context you give, the better CoWork performs. So, memory helps in the background, but context is something you actively control. Now, while memory is powerful, it needs to be managed carefully. If your context becomes messy or outdated, it can actually lead to incorrect results. So, keep your memory clean, use clear references, and update or reset things when needed. Think of it like maintaining a workspace. Clean inputs lead to better outputs. Till now, we have seen how to execute tasks and chain them. But in real-world systems, tasks are not isolated. They are connected over time. Think about how you learn anything. You don't start from scratch every day. You build on previous knowledge, you improve based on feedback, and then you adjust your next steps accordingly. So, today, instead of doing a one-time task, we are going to simulate something much more powerful. We are going to build an AI learning system that remembers, adapts, and evolves over time. Not just responses, but continuity. So for this hands-on, let's move to our Claude app. Every intelligent system needs a foundation. So the first thing we do is define a learner profile. This is not temporary. This is persistent memory. I'll write the prompt. Here we define the learner's goal, their current level, and their preferences. This step is critical because now instead of repeating these instructions in every task, the system remembers them. So future outputs automatically align with this profile. Over here on my screen, you can see how the learner's profile has been created. The goal is to learn ML in 4 weeks with the level of beginner. And the style has also been created. Now, let's start the actual learning process. This is where we create the first layer of session memory. Now, notice something important. We are not just generating notes. We are also tracking what was learned, tagging difficulty level, and storing this as context. This becomes the reference point for all future sessions. Over here, you can see the first lesson has been created. You can go to the MD file that it created and look at the notes. The description of supervised learning with a real-world analogy, since we asked it to provide real-world examples. Then after that, unsupervised learning, then comparison between supervised and unsupervised. Now, here is where most basic systems fail. They repeat information, but we don't want repetition. We want progression. So, I'll ask the Claude Co-work to use the previous session and build on that. The topic is model evaluation. Build on earlier concepts, avoid repeating basics, maintain beginner-friendly tone. This is where context is being reused. Instead of starting from zero, the system knows what was already covered. It avoids redundancy and it builds logically on top. This is what makes the experience feel continuous. On my screen, you can see that the lesson 2 is model evaluation. It is following the learner's profile that I created earlier. Let's take this one step further. A good learning system does not just teach, it evaluates. I'll ask it to generate a quiz based on the previous 2 lessons. It should evaluate if the score is less than 60%, identify the weak areas, else increase the difficulty level. This is where memory becomes actionable. We are collecting performance data, interpreting it, and using it to guide future behavior. So, now the system is not just remembering, it is making decisions based on memory. Over here, you can also see the progress tracker it created from week 1 to week 4. So, the quiz has been created. Let's try to attempt that one. If you want, you can also ask it to create the interface for the quiz one so you can attempt it directly on your screen. So let's say my score was greater than 60%. Logically, it should increase the level of difficulty of the quiz. Or if you want, let's make a lesson of adaptive learning. We should see how the system adapts. Like if weak topic exists, we could ask the system to re-explain with simpler examples, introduce the advanced topic. Also, we can ask it to apply the preferences that we described earlier, use analogies, keep summaries short. Over here, you can see, since I iterated that my score was greater than 60%, it added an advanced topic that we can cover. It also updated the tracker it created that 3 lessons has been done plus 1 quiz. It also increased the difficulty level for week 2. Now, let's zoom out. So far, we have been working session by session, but real systems also look at long-term progress. So here I have asked the Claude to use all sessions, generate summary, identify strengths, identify weak areas, and create a revision sheet. So the revision sheet should be created based on the 3 lessons that we created earlier. This step uses accumulated memory, not just the last task, but everything we have done so far. You can see how this all sessions memory has been created. It included the first lesson that we created, supervised versus unsupervised, then the model evaluation, the quiz one, and then linear regression. The difficulty status is also here with the summary of all the lessons. But one important thing that you should take into consideration, memory is powerful, but it needs control. If memory is not managed, it can become noisy, outdated, or even harmful. So maintaining clean, relevant context is critical. So you can also prompt the model, if outdated info exists, then remove that. If conflicting preferences are there, prioritize the latest one. Let's step back and see what we built. We started with a simple learning session and ended up with a system that remembers, tracks progress, adapts to performance, and personalizes output. That's not a prompt anymore, that's a system. Think about your own work. How often do you revisit old work, improve based on feedback, and plan next steps? That entire loop can now be handled by AI. Memory and context are what transform AI from a question answering tool into something that can actually support long term workflows. An AI that remembers your past can intelligently shape your future.